Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. I will be going over my normal schedule as per usual, which is Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo, Vertcoin, Monero, Omisego, Lisk, Cardano, and IOTA, all of those in that order. Any more detailed technical analysis on TradingView in just a second. Other than that, if you're interested in monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities, you can check out my premium content. I have a link to that in the description of this video. I actually just recently posted 2 new ones, so if you're interested in that, definitely go check it out. Otherwise, if you're interested in trading altcoins, you can check out Binance. They're basically the best exchange out there as for altcoin trading, and I also have a link to them in the description of this video. Let's get started with the general market update. We can see that for the most part, I'm going to go ahead and refresh it here one more time, but the market is rebounding. Bitcoin is now back above $15,000, up around 10% over the past 24 hours. Ripple up around 10% as well, back to $2.50. And as you can see, the bigger cryptos are actually pretty strong right now. Cardano up again here towards 85 cents. Stellar climbing these ranks slowly but surely, now at the 7th spot, doing well here today. And other than that, Tron, very strong day once again. Couple cryptos that are actually down here, Roblox pulling back a little bit, and otherwise, you know, it's relatively mixed. Some are doing better than others, but overall the market is definitely coming back up here as we enter 2018. We've got Status up 64%, and you know, I'm not going to go through the whole list, but as you can see, we got KuCoin shares up 80%, and yeah, Enigma, I'm going to keep an eye on this one. I think it's going to make a really interesting move. I don't know that much about it yet, but from what I heard, it could definitely be interesting, so I will be paying attention to that. And otherwise, like I said, we're basically just seeing the rebound here as we enter back into the new year. So let's get started with the technical analysis side of things for Bitcoin Cash. We can see that it did actually make a pretty strong move above the downtrend line, kind of topped off at around $2,745, and we did pull back. We're currently holding on top of the middle band, which is at $2,522. That's the brown line right here. So a little bit of a topping candlestick. Overall, though, as long as we hold this short-term uptrend line, we're still fine, right? And we can just expect the price, now that we're out of the downtrend, to just slowly but surely climb back up towards that 3,000 level. Once we get a breakout above that, we can really pretty quickly get back to the all-time highs, right? And that's currently at $4,104. As far as the indicators go, coming back up slowly but surely on the RSI, and we got a nice overextended hook back over on the MACD, and histogram looks like it's going to need to come back a little bit further still, but it's definitely in the process, I think. So let's go over to Bitcoin now, and we'll take a look at how it's doing. So let's go over now to Bitstamp, and Bitcoin is actually recovering nicely here once again, kind of like Bitcoin Cash. We can see that it is holding its short-term uptrend line pretty nicely, putting in a little bit of a doji candlestick, however, on the current one. That's because we have a little bit of resistance ahead still, right? We have 2 previous uptrend lines in the middle band, so we do have to get through those. And at this point, I'm not sure that we're going to manage to go through that just yet. So we're probably just going to trade in this channel here in between the previous uptrend line and the current uptrend line as we move up back towards that $15,814 level. And as far as the MACD goes, it's actually looking really nice here, coming back over nicely towards that orange line. We can expect a crossover pretty soon, and positive range pretty soon as well for the histogram, now out of the downtrend on the RSI. So I think within the next few days we should see that those crossovers happen, and Bitcoin will probably get a really nice bounce from that. Let's go over to Ethereum now. This has been one of the bigger cryptocurrencies that's actually increased in value despite all the drama that's been going on, you know, in the crypto markets over the past week or two. And as you can see, we actually put in a new all-time high today of $887. So we didn't hit that $900 level yet, but at this point, you know, since we are in blue sky breakout mode, sooner rather than later, we'll break above $900 and even probably test that $1,000 mark pretty soon. We got a crossover on the MACD after the downtrend, very bullish sign, of course. And as far as the histogram goes, we now entered the positive range, which is always good. As you can see, we didn't really manage to break above that 70 line on the RSI, so we still are missing a little bit of strength, and buyers weren't able to hold these higher price levels, so we had a little bit of an inverse hammer candlestick. You have to realize that we are trading above the upper Bollinger Band, and based on previous history, Ethereum doesn't do well with that, right? It usually pretty quickly comes back into the Bollinger Band range, which is fine, right? Because it can still bounce after that. but it looks like it will probably enter back into the Bollinger Band range before making its way back higher, above $900 and even towards $1,000, like I said. Let's go over to the next crypto, which is Litecoin, and take a look at how it's been doing. So Litecoin did get a nice clean break above that downtrend line, very important, of course, and looks like it's hooking back over slowly but surely on that MACD, at least flattening out, coming back up towards that positive level on the histogram, and is out of the downtrend line on the RSI. So we do have a little bit of an inverse hammer / doji topping candlestick here, which means that there's still a little bit of resistance ahead, right? We do have a lot of resistance at $267. Then we have the middle band and that $300 mark. So there's going to be, some shakiness until we really get above $300, I would say, at which point we're really out of, the whole mess that it was in. But even now, right, we're out of the downtrend line, which is what matters, and we can just expect it to climb slowly but surely along this current uptrend line right now. So yeah, nothing really to worry about, but definitely going to have to get through some resistance levels before making its way to where it was previously. And we're going to go over towards Ripple now to see how it's been doing. So Ripple got a pretty nice move once again, not making new all-time highs, but it is putting in a higher low and still uptrending basically. So we've got to bounce off the downtrend line over here, and we're still holding above our uptrend line. So we do want to try to make, a move above that, basically above the $2.50 level. Of course, as I said in the beginning of this video, we did actually make our way at $2.50, but it depends on the exchanges, right? And as we can see on Bittrex here, we haven't made our way above that. So we just need to climb, back towards the previous highs, but that should happen pretty quickly at this point. It looks pretty strong here. And as far as the MACD goes, still looking good. That RSI made its way back above the downtrend line, pretty surprising considering how high it is. And it looks like it still has strength to move higher. So who knows, we may even get a big move like we did previously. That's of course hard to tell. But for now, as long as we hold this uptrend line, we're still in bullish momentum here. So I don't expect anything other than it increasing for the time being. Let's go over towards NEO now and take a look at how it's been doing. So NEO got a pretty strong move actually here today. Went all the way up to $110. I didn't even realize that actually. Unfortunately, it did sell off quite a bit from there. We're now back at around $90. I have been bullish on NEO. It's been acting pretty strong throughout all of this. It did get a pretty strong pullback, but recovered quickly and held the uptrend very well. Got that big breakout finally above that $85 level, which was the previous all-time high resistance area. And now we got a nice rounded bottom on this MACD, going even higher. Same thing on the histogram and RSI trading above the 70 line. So as you can see, we pull back a bit, have a doji candlestick right now. We could always come back and test that $85 level. That's fully possible. That would be healthy pullback at this point. But now that we managed to make these new all-time highs, I think that we'll be back soonly enough to that above $100 level. And yeah, maybe a little bit of a pullback here is what we're seeing, but overall I wouldn't be worried about it. It should pretty quickly get back above $100, and it'll be the new trading range for NEO moving forward, which is of course great for anyone who's holding NEO. Let's go towards Vertcoin now and take a look at how it's been doing. So Vertcoin managed to go pretty high here, all the way up to $8.88. Didn't really hold that. It's facing a lot of trouble with the middle band, right? That's at $7.58, the brown line right here, and it's downtrending, which means that it's putting a lot of pressure on the price. So that's where our main resistance is at. We can see that it kind of attempted to hook back over to that orange line, failed a bit, right? At least it's flattening out, which is a good sign, and we're coming up slowly but surely back to the positive level on the histogram. Then managed to get above 52 on the RSI, which is resistance, right? That'll be another sign of when we're fully back in bullish momentum. So we do want to see a couple crossovers happen here, and we want to make sure especially that we can hold above that $7.21 level and even get back above the middle band, right? Once we're able to do that, we'll pretty much be back into our bullish momentum for Vertcoin. We're going to pass towards Monero now, and Monero has been one of the stronger cryptos out there, and we're going to take a look at if it's been pulling back a little bit. So it looks like it did get a pretty strong move as well, like a lot of these other cryptocurrencies. What's interesting is that a lot of the cryptos did good today, but pull back quite a bit, which is fine, that happens. So all the way up to $418, pulled back a bit, now trading around $363. But what matters here is that we made our way back above the middle band and above that $355 support level, which is very key. And I think at this point, slowly but surely, we'll get back towards above $400. and then it's back to the all-time highs pretty much. We're flattening out on the MACD. We're just going to wait for that crossover now, coming back up on the histogram, and didn't really manage to get above that 57 level on the RSI. So one thing that I will say is we're seeing a lot of these cryptos kind of failing to move above previous resistance levels on the RSI. That could mean that this is just a short-term bounce and we can re-enter the downtrend. That's always possible, but that'll be pretty clear. We just need to make sure that we hold the uptrend line, and if we do, then it's nothing really to worry about in my opinion. We're going to go over now towards Omisigo, and it has actually been acting pretty well, so let's see what it's been doing. Went all the way up to $24.84, now pulled back quite a bit from there, unfortunately, and even made its way back into the symmetrical triangle formation that it broke out of towards the upside. So that's not the best sign. With that being said, it is holding the uptrend line at least, and we are now uptrending on the MACD. Looks pretty good on the histogram. It's topping off a little bit, and we lost some support levels on the RSI. So back above the 70 line. It looks like this might be a very short-term pullback where we could already start moving higher, get back above the downtrend line and just continue the uptrend over the next couple days. That's fully possible, but maybe there's some more weakness here and we'll actually need to consolidate more towards this $20 level. So it's a little bit early to tell. We'll just need to make sure that we can get back above that downtrend line and restart our uptrend, basically as soon as possible, right? We want to make sure that we hold that uptrend line. It's going to be key at this point. And we're going to go over towards LISC. So LISC got a move above its downtrend line, made it its way all the way up to $25.74. Did pull back from there, right? Didn't manage to hold above its previous uptrend line, which was of course hard to do. And now it's putting in a little bit of a red candlestick. Nothing really to worry about. We can see that the MACD is still downtrending. Same thing on the RSI. Sorry, the RSI did break out of the initial downtrend, and now it's moving a little bit lower. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But as for the histogram, we are still downtrending there. And at this point, I would say, it's obviously facing a little bit of resistance. I think that we're probably going to consolidate just a tad longer still before we can really expect it to get a strong move back towards the all-time highs. But we just want to make sure that we hold the middle band, which is currently at $19.42, the brown line right here, which is uptrending, and this uptrend line over here. So probably going to get a little bit of consolidation, but should be able to hold the uptrend line and make its way higher slowly but surely. We're going to go over towards Cardano now and see how it's been doing. So Cardano back in its bullish mode once again. It has been acting very strong, and what can I say? People are really buying up Cardano. There's nothing really else to say about it. We can see that it regained strength on the RSI, regained strength on the histogram, and no signs of weakness on the MACD, despite the fact that it's already been uptrending for some time. Still looking very strong on this breakout. We can see that it lost its initial uptrend, but now is already putting back in a short-term uptrend. So that's this current line right here. And it could trade in this range, moving forward. I can see that happen for sure. It's going to be hard getting back above this previous uptrend line for the time being, right? That's a very steep line. So, and we are trading above the upper Bollinger Band. I think that it probably has a lot of strength in it still, so we are going to see it move higher, but that's just going to need to be slowly but surely as we move along this current uptrend line. Let's go over towards IOTA now to see how it's been doing. And IOTA, let's see. So IOTA got a move back above its middle band, which is at $3.87. Actually made its way all the way back to above $4. Didn't manage to hold that just yet. And now what we're going to be looking towards is, of course, moving above $4 again and really making sure that we hold above that, right? Which would probably push us pretty high back towards that $4.75 level. But of course, we have a little bit of a range there that we could trade in. Looks like it's coming back up nicely on the MACD. Didn't get that crossover just yet. That'll be a very strong bullish sign. Probably kick the price up quite a bit. Coming back up nicely on that histogram. RSI kind of flat right now. And one thing that I will mention though is that we kind of lost our short-term uptrend. Not fully, we have kind of a flat candlestick, so we'll have to see how that plays out if we can get back above that quickly. But if we don't, right, we could see it start to fail the $4 test and maybe move a little bit lower in the range. That's of course just speculation at this point. Overall though, it is looking better than it was a couple days ago. Want to make sure that it holds the middle band now, and it'd be great if it could move above $4, right? That's really what we want to see as for a bullish confirmation. With that being said, everyone, this is the end of the daily crypto update. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.